Shut up and sit down.
Hello guys and girls, this is Andy from Big Mix Paint Studio and Workshop, and I've got it wrong once again, but I don't care. And this is our second of our White Dwarf subscription videos. Now it's came a little bit late due to a bank holiday, so you might have already seen some or maybe even got it, but we're still going to do a video anyway, and let's get straight on into it. So obviously at the front we've got, the main picture is quite unsurprisingly Admech and Necrons, which obviously is all to do with the new Forgebane kit and the Necron Codex, what's come out this week as well. So as always, a bit of an editorial bump, which no one ever reads really, I should imagine. I know I never do. And we'll get into the pictures, and here we go. We've got some new Elven artwork coming up, because obviously we've got that beautiful Sea Elf range. I'm not sure what they're called. I'm sure somebody out there will know and correct me. Obviously, also the armigers from the Admech Forgebane kit, which are very, very cool. And obviously the details about some of the current events or new events coming up. Obviously we've got Warhammer Fest coming up, which is on the 12th and 13th of May in Coventry, so any guys going will hopefully see you. And
are those tickets on sale yet?
The tickets are probably on sale now. Don't know price on them. How much was it last year? About 20 quid, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah, probably around about the £20 mark for a ticket to Warhammer Fest. We went last year, we're going again this year, and we can both say it was a good day out. So, Forgebane, the big release this week, or last week was it? Necrons and Admech, interesting combination, and obviously new baby Night Titans, which is kind of cool, and a new Cryptek on some kind of flying surfboard spider thing. Which is a new Cryptek model. I don't know what it's called. The surfboard's called, so I'm just going to call it a surfboard for now. And yeah, more information about Forgebane. This is the first time I've looked at this White Dwarf, so I can't really tell you anything about what's going off. So you got your Night Armigers, which are pretty cool. I've been talking to some of my mates down at my local club and reckon that they're a little bit overcosted points wise, but who cares about that when they look awesome? Style over effect, guys, isn't it? Let's face it. And they do have a bunch of variant heads, so you can have your armigers looking a little bit different. So, we've got a release date for Codex Ducari, which is on the 7th of April on pre-order. 7th of April for a general release, so that's going to be out this weekend. So, I know of one very happy bloke I can imagine.
We'll have to get him back in for another battle report.
Yeah, we'll have to bring Leon back for...
versus his Ducari.
Yeah, we'll have to get Leon back for another battle report on that one. Because I've, from some of the... releases, whatever, knocking about, they're going to look very interesting. Really hoping we're going to shake up the way the game's played a little bit. And obviously, in addition to that, you've got the data cards coming up. And is that a new Start Collecting box? I'm not sure. I don't know the original contents, so I'm sure somebody will chime up about that one as well. Bit of Shapespire stuff. Now, I've actually played this once, and it is a lot of fun. The figures have loads of character, and it looks like there's a new Khorne and Sigmarines battle force for them as well. And one's got a dog, and the Sigmarite dudes have got some kind of crossbow. That's going to make life interesting. Definitely the keeping up with the flavour of the armies, but also making the characters look characterful, making them very important. So now we're talking about the Ideneth Deepkin. That's a new Sea Elf range. Now, I don't know whether they were high elves or dark elves, or some combination of the two, but we do have flying turtles, and that's a winner, in my opinion. Flying turtles clearly need to have some elephants on its back.
I was going to say, I get 4 elephants and stick them on its back. That'd make a great conversion.
Yes, definitely make a Pratchett world out of it. That would be very cool. Also, something what Leon was suggesting about the Iden of Deepkin was that they would make a very nice Exodite, Eldar Exodite army proxy.
Yeah.
Which I agree would be a very cool use of them. So, on to the next bit. We've got some more Forge World stuff, some Custodians from Pre-Heresy. Well, I can't really tell the difference between them Custodians and the plastic ones. They apparently have some kind of different spear, maybe? Yeah, it's got some kind of melter gun strapped to it rather than a bolter, which sounds unpleasant. And Nazgul. Oh, yeah, Nazgul. They're like my favourite thing in the entire Lord of the Rings. And they have a full 9 available. I'm guessing they're going to be expensive, but hey, it's Nazgul. What more do you want? More information about the games. So 40k has got some more games coming out. Warhammer Quest 2 as a computer game. That sounds interesting. I don't know what platform that's going to be on.
You said that, I was thinking Hero Quest then for a second.
Warhammer Quest and Hero Quest are pretty much an evolution of the same game. Hero Quest being what I got entered the game in back in the Dark Ages.
Before the invention of the wheel.
Yeah, before I invented the square wheel. And there's something about Relics of War, 40k Gladius. Now, that looks like some kind of RTS. And if it is a proper strategy game, then I'm all over that because that's what I love. I love strategy games. And if you're a Magic the Gathering player, how about Magic the Gathering for 40k?
I am, and that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
But is it going to be pay to play like Magic the Gathering? Or...
Well, it's a computer game, so I don't know how that's going to work.
Cheaper then?
Probably. And obviously, you can't go anywhere without seeing Imperial Knights at the minute. And why should we change that on in a White Dwarf as well? White Dwarf has got a lovely red and white Imperial Knight in. I do like that fig. I do keep meaning to get myself one. But it's a matter of do I get a knight or do I keep on building my Sisters of Battle army, which I know I can continue in next year, but with plastic toys. So, some more books. As always, got some more books coming out. One looks about a Titan, an Imperator Titan, which could prove interesting. Although having something what's based around Titans is often a very iffy, very difficult subject to do, I should imagine, as the Mechanicum don't have much in the way of personality.
Works alright in not Blackreach, Hell's Reach.
Hell's Reach was good, yes, and also Mechanicum was a very good book as well. But it's just, I've got to say, it's got to be a very daunting project writing something about a character what's gonna think in binary. So obviously you've got your adverts for new releases and such, and some asking the GW letters. So back in the day, Temporal Distor this time is about Tau, the original Tau, back when they came out in 2013. A lot more recent than I thought. I thought they were a lot older than that, but it was the first time they released a new faction for a long while, and that was kind of cool. So, Stormcast Eternals. What more can you say about Stormcast Eternals apart from the lightning? I really wish I could get my lightning looking as good as that. We've got in a photo, but that's Photoshop for you, so what can you do? So the Agnef Deepkin. What are they? Who are they? Well, I know they're elves, and they have seahorses and flying turtles, and the models are absolutely cool. So there's very little I know about these guys. I've been a little bit off the radar recently as I've been focusing on other things. But I will get a chance to read this and have a proper natter about the Agnef Deepkin a bit near the time of their release, I should imagine. I do like the way they've done the concept artwork though. As I said, they're going to be some really cool looking. I can see a lot of really cool looking Exodite armies coming out of these guys. I'm sure some of you out there are already earmarking that. There's quite a fair section, got a good spread of pages on the on their faction as well. Some more adverts and a battle report. Now, unsurprisingly, this month's 40k battle report is Necrons versus Admech, with Necrons being a huge release this month, and the Admech box set as well. I dare say there's going to be loads of knights. There you go. 3 knights of various sizes and some other Admechy bits. And a absolutely massive Necron army with a Catan. Now we're going to be doing a review on a personal review on the Necron book when that arrives. We have ordered it. It's just a matter of waiting for it to get to us before we can do something about it. Well, there you go. I'm not going to bore you with with telling you what's going off. It's just a guideline as to what's going down. Obviously, we've got the battle report overhead photos, and the table itself is gorgeous. We've really kept the table to a nice theme. Really works well together. As you would imagine, it's a big old battle report. And now to Matt Holland. He's a miniature designer. He's talking about his favourite figures over the span of his career. And some of the figs I've got to totally agree with, like the Karma Betrayer fig. The rehash on him is just awesome. Kept him looking like Khan, but all the more better. Wow. And the old Astromotarium. Imperial Guard Rattling Squads. Look at them. They've got some character there figs. More work from last month's Tale of Four Warlords. Obviously Age of Sigmar, Dark Elves. Hitting the first entry on this one. A very, very cool looking Nurgle Demon army. So I've got some really nice models now available to them since I've had the new updates to them. The Great and Clean one's awesome. Continuation of the Legions of Nagash. And more ogres. I love their big monsters. Their big monsters are very, very cool looking. And we've got some hobby stuff by Jay Clare, talking about Middle Earth, which is his specialty. Now I've met this lad before. He is actually a top bloke, and he is one of the design. I think he's helping design the rule set for the Lord of the Rings Hobbit game systems, and quite clearly he's got a hell of a lot of stuff available to him. And even more. We've got Gavin Beardsmore talking about his Admech Imperial Knight Army. With a very, very purple army. But again, purple looks great, especially next to the gold on them knights. And he managed to keep them all looking individual as well by giving them personal heraldry, which you can't go wrong with. And the construction of a new battle table, the River of Souls. So, well, there you go. How awesome does that look? That green, soul-filled river pouring through the city, pouring out of a city of some kind. That looks amazing. Could also make for a decent 40k board, which is always a good thing. There you are. That's the finished product as they built it. That is one cool board. The rich green what we've used on the river is awesome. Really does look unholy. A very unpleasant place to be around. So, a bit of a tactic kit on the uses of Dark Eldar or Drakari, as you will. Now, again, I can't go too much into that, as I've not read it myself. But we have seen some of the release stuff of what they have available to them, and it's going to be a very interesting army to play against. And because it's a Dark Eldar, they have a lovely lot of figures as well. So there's been a Shadespire tournament knocking about, and I have. I'm guessing that was a sort of a private thing. I don't know. But there's a lot of. It does seem to have played very well for tournaments. I do like the fact that all the factions have their own little dice as well. It's a nice touch. Maxime Pasturel made a challenge on painting the iconic Marine 30-year anniversary figure amongst himself and some of his colleagues and friends. Well, let's face it, Maxime is an absolute ninja when it comes to painting, so I'm not going to comment too much on that stuff because it's all amazing. And some rules, new rules for Radagast Brown and some of his battlegrounds. So that's going to be quite kind of cool. It's only a White Dwarf exclusive, so those of you who play The Hobbit will probably want to pick this up. A whole section of new rules, and also Necromunda Chaos Cults. Now that's a bit more of my down my alley as it's Chaos, as I'm sure you're aware. So we've got some a full Necromunda Chaos gang for Necromunda, obviously, and Readers' Models. So it's nice to see that, as I said before, it's nice to see that the readers are getting into the White Dwarves these days. Some quality looking stuff. This Knight Acheron is awesome. Plenty of transfers on there as well, really making him stand out. Not a single plain panel on the fig. Really, really nice. Obviously Mortarion, he gets everywhere. That bad boy. He's in traditional Death Guard colours, which is quite interesting to see. And he looks well for it, to be honest. Because he's normally in the muted green, what you normally see. But it's nice to see him in traditional Death Guard. And skipping to the end, we have the adverts and such. And there you go. That is this month's White Dwarf. The most benefit will be gained for those who play The Hobbit this time round. Although anyone who's interested in the new Dark Eldar stuff will definitely be worthwhile having a look at, as it's got information about all their battle tactics, etc. So that's all from me for now. We'll catch you in the next one, guys, and see you soon. Bye bye.